Okay, Jagannath is making me speak something, so I have to speak something. He wants to know some story. So I was thinking about Prasadam and Srila Prabhupada. And of course, Prasadam is such a fundamental mercy, such a fundamental kindness that the tongue, which is so voracious, can be engaged. And not just engaged, not just given some distraction, but the flavors and the experience of Prasadam is beyond what any gourmet or any fancy chef could ever dream of making. So back when I was temple president in Miami, Srila Prabhupada was giving a lecture. He had visited Miami, and he was sitting under a banyan tree. We had his Vyasasan outside under a big, beautiful banyan tree, and there maybe 100 people were there sitting outside. And as the temple president, I was standing in the back in order to manage and see everything was okay. So Srila Prabhupada, in his lecture, he came upon the subject of prasadam. And he said, all of us have come because of prasadam. And he pointed to me in the back, even you, Abhiram. And to this day, I was thinking, at least privately, I would have liked to have disagreed with Prabhupada. I wish I had said to him, not in the public, that would be impolite, but at least privately, that Srila Prabhupada, I don't agree. I didn't come for prasadam. I came for you. But I stayed because of prasadam. So, in the days in the 70s in India, sometimes when Prabhupada would travel on the train, and even I had the experience, that India was a different place. The people that were there, somehow they were so much more elevated. I don't know what's happened, but very degenerating now. But occasionally on the train, just stopping at the station en route, he would call one of these vendors over to the window of the train and bring some samosa from him and hand it out to the devotees and say, take prasad, take prasad. So I think those vendors, they came especially from Vaikuntha just to serve Srila Prabhupada. Not possible that they were ordinary men. Or being ordinary men, they had become extraordinarily blessed by the hands of His Divine Grace. And when I was TP in Calcutta, one night, you have space on your phone? One night we were waiting for some devotees to come from Mayapur. Srila Prabhupada was staying there in Calcutta quite a bit in those days. I think this may have been 75. I think it was Jayapataka Maharaj and a few other devotees were coming, and Prabhupada was a little eager to see them, thinking about them coming. But it was getting late, somehow they weren't coming. And I was aware that Srila Prabhupada needed to rest. So I came and I said, Srila Prabhupada, you take rest, I'll stay up and wait for them. He said, you have full prasad for them? Oh, I was shocked. Let me explain why. So in those days in Calcutta, we had no running water, we had no refrigeration, and moreover, we cooked on a coal. And it was so difficult with no refrigeration that we bought fresh vegetables. Every morning the vendor would come by. As you know, in India, he would call out and we would look over the balcony and call to him, we want this, we'd come down. Milk fresh, everything fresh. And we had a cook who assisted us in cooking. It was a pious man, a devotee type man. So this was nighttime. Everyone had gone to sleep. The cook was gone. The fires were out. The coal fires were out. No food in the kitchen. And Prabhupada said full prasad. Now full prasad means something. It doesn't mean a lot of prasad. Full prasad in Prabhupada's terminology means rice, sabji, dal, roti, chutney, sweet. That's full prasad. That is a technical meaning. That is a full thali. So, oh my God, my brain was just frozen. What should I think? What should I say? But he knew, because I said with such shock, full prasad, Prabhupada. I'm alone. I'm not even a cook. I can manage a few things, but I'm not a proper cook. So he said, yes. If you do not have full prasad 24 hours a day for any guest. You cannot call it a temple. That was his standard.
Wonderful.
Then he said, how to do? Because he saw I was shocked. So he said, you do like this. You take the metal tiffin, you make your roti dough, wrap it in a wet cloth, put it in the tiffin, close it. You take your cauliflower, gobi, aloo, potatoes, few sabjis, you put them in water, in a tiffin, close it, put it aside. You take your rice, soaking, put it aside. Put your dal, soaking, put it aside. Put your sweet in a tin, no need for anything, just put it aside. Chutney in a tin, just put it aside. Like this, everything ready. Then in the chula, the cooker, at the bottom, he said, you cover that, at the end of the day, you cover those burning coals with a little ash and they'll stay hot. So when the guest comes, you put fresh coal, you fan the chula, fire comes back, you start putting everything. He said 20 minutes full prashad. This was his standard. Prashad was so important. And of course, as we all know, Srila Prabhupada would take prashad alone. No reading of anything, no kirtan, absolute full meditation, every morsel, every taste. He was tasting Krishna's mercy. Such an unimaginable experience. We could only watch in awe. He would sometimes sit against the wall. So he was facing the wall. Even there was no distraction. Just relishing every bite of prashad. And he could taste who has made, how they have made, the mind of their making, and the blessings of Krishna that had come. We cannot understand such an amazing thing, prashadam.